All right. So everything's looking pretty good now. All right. We got a good structure. We've got our bearing holes in. We've got our mounts for our gearbox. Now we have to start thinking about things like, oh, how am I going to attach a belly pan? Okay. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to add rivet holes to the bottom of our sidebars and our front bar here as well. Okay, so let's go do our sidebars first. They're a little bit easier because the entire sidebar has to have rivet holes on it, whereas the front bars here only have to have them right from about here over to here, right? So we can ignore the first 3 inches on each side of the front bar. So let's do it on the sidebars first. Okay. Since we got this in the appropriate orientation right now, or we started with it that way, we're going to go to the bottom of it now. And once I start getting there, by the way, I just like going up and clicking on the button. Then I can manipulate it from there. All right. And we're just going to go from the top down. It doesn't really matter. Okay. We're going to start and we're going to put them up here. And then we are going to repeat the pattern all the way down. All right. I'll show you how to do that. We're going to first, I'm going to zoom in on the top here a little bit. And basically our rivet pattern is like this. I'm going to sketch on the bottom. And we're going to pick our circle. Remember, just C. And it's not, we don't put our circles on the center. Don't get them constrained there. Get them off to the side. And we do a pattern of 4 of these just like this. Okay. Now I'm going to switch over to my dimensioning tool again. Once I get them drawn, the next thing I want to do is just start to dimension everything. All right. The hole size for a rivet hole is 0.191. Okay. Notice they all kind of changed. I always find that weird. They're not all actually equal. I'm going to go up to my equal or just hit E. I'm going to hit the first one and then the second one, equal. First one, second one, first one, second one. Now they're all the same size. Even though they may not look it, they're all the same size. Okay. Now we're going to use a little bit of wizardry here. I like constraining things, so I don't like saying, well, let me just show you. It's easier just to show you. If I use this constraint, this is a vertical constraint. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Vertical constraint. From here to here, these need to stay in alignment. From here to here, these need to stay in alignment. Notice that one moved over just a little bit. Okay. Now, how do I know that constraint is even there? Like, it's not like it's gone. It's where can I see that? Over here, show constraints. Haha. My vertical constraint is right there and right there. Now, when you hit escape, by the way, if I hit my escape on my keyboard, it removes any selection that I made up here, okay? So notice vertical, hit escape, gone. Now I'm back to just having my pointer, right? If I select this constraint right here, and then I hit delete, I just deleted that constraint. Now I can move it again, okay? All right. I'm gonna get up here close again. I'm gonna do these two need to be vertical. There we go. Now we're gonna do the same thing, only we're gonna do the horizontal ones, right? This one and this one need to be horizontally constrained, and this one need to be horizontally constrained. Now they are in a perfect square, okay? Now I don't have to dimension or do all kinds of crazy dimensions to get these to line up perfectly. I don't have to do things like set a 90-degree angle or anything weird like that, okay? But I do need to say, how far is this from this? So let's do that, this to this. And we're gonna set this at 0.409, okay? I don't know exactly why we did it that way originally, but that's the way we've been doing it on Drivetrain, so I'm gonna keep doing it that way. And then we need to dimension from here to here between the two bottom ones, okay? And it's 0.624, okay? Oops, and that moved up quite a ways, didn't it? That's okay. We can still actually hit escape key, go back, and I can actually just drag this down. Okay, now notice it's not constrained anywhere on here. Okay, we still need to do that. So we're going to tell it, the way we usually do this is from here to this side. I don't know why. We've just always set it at 0.2. Okay, it's not perfectly in the center, unfortunately. And from the top, let me double check my dimensions. Yeah, from here to here, I know it's getting kind of messy. This is 0.25. So now we want to repeat this pattern all the way down the tube. So we look at the bottom, boop, there's our full tube. We want this same pattern all the way down here. We want the pattern to be somewhere between 1.5 inches to 2 inches between patterns all the way down. Okay, so let's give this a shot. Let me show you what the pattern tool is all about. Okay, you go up here to the top again. That's the mirror. This is the pattern right here. We're going to click linear pattern, and then we're going to select 1, 2, 3, 4 holes. Okay. Now notice what happened right away. This got really messy. This says 3 times right here. Oh, there. Okay. That totally messed me up for a second there. Okay. It looks like it's only 1 time to the right. But I want to go down here with my pattern. Okay. It was off the screen at the top. This is my pattern going up and down. I want it to go the other direction. And I want it to be somewhere under 2 inches. So somewhere like 1.5 inches to 2 inches, somewhere in there. Now, how do I know what's right? I play around with this a little bit. So first of all, I'm going to take this to like 10, just as a sample. I actually don't know what it should be quite yet. Okay. Now I left clicked a couple times and it just set all of these then. This stays at 1. This dimension here is important to me. I want to keep that under 2, and I've got 10 of these. Let me scroll way out. Ooh. So I want to keep this under 2, and I've got 10. I want to get closer to the end here. So let me do 15. Ooh, I went just beyond, but if I go a little bit less, (1.7). Ooh, that takes me down quite a ways. Okay, now here's another little trick. If I've decided, you know what, 15 will work. Somewhere 15 is going to work because it will fit somewhere between that. 2 inches will be too far, so it's got to be a little bit less than that. This will work because I can get it in there, and it's at 1.5. Yeah, it squeezes all the way down to here. Here's this little trick I showed you before. Okay, I can take and make this change to driven dimension. In other words, this is not going to change where things actually move now. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is kind of fun. I'm going to go back to dimensioning again. I'm going to dimension from this hole to the end. And up above, you'll remember my distance was 1/4 inch. Okay, now this makes it really nice. I'm 1/4 inch away from the bottom. And remember that trick I showed you above, because that's critical. You have to change this dimension to a driven dimension rather than a driving dimension, because if it's a driving dimension, it will not change, okay? So what if I have both of these, by the way, as driving dimensions? Look at what just happened. Everything just turned red up here. Just became a completely botched up, including this dimension down here. Bad, bad, bad. Now, if I change this one to a driven dimension, it fixes everything. Well, yeah, there we go. It fixes everything. So if I swap them back and forth, that's fine. But if I have them both as driving dimensions, that's bad. So I go back to driven, and this one is driving, and it creates all of our holes in a pattern. I'm gonna rename this rivet holes. Rivet holes. Okay. I'm gonna select this, and we're gonna extrude And I'm going to remove, because we want to remove those holes. We want to make them into holes, but I'm not going to do it blind. All right, I refuse. I hate doing things blind. I'm going to rotate this so that I can see the inside of this, because I'm going to only extrude. Let me zoom in here. There you go. You get a good picture of it. I am only going to extrude up to the face of the internal piece here. You can see it's just highlighted in yellow right now. I'm going to click on it. And now my holes only go through the top plate. That's it, the top piece of the bar. All right. This is the top. Okay, so our rivet holes are in underneath there. Let me go ahead and accept that. And you see my rivet holes are right down here. Now, wouldn't it be nice if I had a transparent object right here? There we go, here we go. Right over here at sidebar, you can see I've got a part here. I'm gonna right click on this and edit appearance, right? Check this out, go into edit appearance. This is a good place to be. This right here is a translucency bar. If I take this down to like 80%, approximately, I can see through my bar. Isn't that cool? So this is really nice to be able to see what's going on in your drawing. So let's go back to the main drivetrain. It's also transparent here too. It can be a little confusing seeing that many holes, but if you know kind of what you're looking at, you know what it's supposed to be, okay? Now, here's another quick thing. I like keeping these all the same color, by the way. It's just me. You could make the front bars versus the side bars different colors if you want to. Have at it, have fun with it, do whatever. I like having these. We're gonna go put rivet holes on the front and the back now, okay?